morning, sweet friends. How's it going? Happy Monday. Hopefully everybody had a great weekend. I'm going to take a few minutes and I'm going to go over some of our packet activities that you got in your mailbox yesterday. And hopefully you enjoy some of them, and some of it will be a review for you. Remember, do it as you have time and as your parents, have time to help you, because I know mom and dad might have to work. So yeah, just take your time, enjoy it, have a little fun. I've seen some of your finished work through pictures, or when you catch me coming by your house and you show me what you've been up to. So I'm super proud of all of you, so keep it up. You might see a little doggy tail walking that way. He was up there in the window, hence the reason the computer's here this morning. All right, so let's talk a little bit about what you got in your packet. So we're going to do another week of letter writing. Just so you're aware, we're getting closer to Mother's Day. So if you want to write your mom a letter, keep that in your head. For Mother's Day, that would be really sweet of you. But yeah, you have about 2 more weeks until Mother's Day, if that's right. I think that's right. All right, so you do have another word family. You have IP to work on, IP, IP. Like dip, rip, sip, hip, slip, flip. There's lots of ip words: tip, trip, skip, and lip. So a lot of the similar activities to what you had last week, where you write the word next to the picture. So you have dip. This is lip. That's pointing to her hip. It's hard to see backward. Zip, and then this is the tip of the pencil. Everybody likes a little pointy tip for a pencil. Here you have to fill in the missing letters. And then it says read the word and draw it. So you read this and draw a quick little picture there. And then down here it says write a sentence using the word ship. I sailed on a ship. I caught fish on the ship. Some fun things like that. Now, I did notice there was a problem. This got copied until after I'd already put it together. So you have roll and trace. And as you might notice, there's nothing to trace because it was too light to be picked up on the copier. Sorry about that. So here's what I'm going to say. If you do this page, you do need your 2 dice. You will have to roll. If I were you, I would number these and start with like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then back here, when you roll that number, check the front. So let's say I roll 12. So I would look here. I would find the number 12 by the word and write that word. I really apologize about that. I totally didn't catch that when I was making these. So that's what I would suggest. Or, someone can just call out a word and you can just write it in the box. Sorry about the tracing. I'll try to do better next time. All right, this one is, it says you can cut out the words and glue them in the sentences. You don't have to cut them out and glue them. These are your word choices. If you would rather, you can just write in, I can blank my coat, and it just shows you a picture of what. That's right, zip. So either you can cut out zip and glue it in here, or you can just write zip. Okay? The whole point is for you to read it and figure out what word goes in there. Okay? It's not really the point of cutting and gluing. All right? And then you have a little story with IP words, and your job is to draw a picture. Okay? So remember, do one every day or so. If you're not ready for this one, then just keep it tight and hold on to it when you get done with the others. So you have some more letter writing pages. You have another journal in here. You have a note to mom and dad about this week we're talking about conservation, or a big word is ecology. If we were at school, I would have you practice saying the word ecology and talking about what that means. So this kind of talks to mom and dad about the things that we would be learning this week at school about ecology. There are some papers in here. But if you recycle at home, a cool activity to do is to take some of the recycling and sort it, because we are fortunate enough now to live in a time where you can put most of all of your recycling in the same container. And you can talk about why recycling is important, what happens. Maybe find a video online that shows how they recycle paper, how they recycle glass. Those things are actually pretty interesting to watch. So, but yeah, so at school, I would bring in lots of different recycling and we would sort it because there are some places that do make you sort by the material that's made of. So, paper goes together, cardboard goes together, cans or metal things, aluminum goes together. Plastic stuff goes together. We also talk about the little triangle that has a number inside. What does that number even mean? For some of us, we can only recycle certain numbers inside the triangle. So those are important things to look at. Glass, if you have glass that you're recycling at home. So we usually do like a real recycling sort and talk about like what we can turn these different things into when they are recycled. Because when you recycle, it doesn't mean that you're going to turn it into the exact same thing. A lot of times, it gets a brand new life. They take plastic bottles and turn it into clothes, which is really, really cool because you might be wearing someone's old soda bottle and you wouldn't even know it because it feels so different. So, keep that in mind as you're talking about ecology, which is people and the earth working together to make this a good place for all of us to be, including animals, as long as possible. Because if we don't take care of the earth, it cannot take care of us. So keep that in mind. This week, I'm going to be posting some videos of the infamous Dash McTrash. Now, if you have older students that came through KIPS, you will probably remember this. Miss Kitts, bless her heart, recorded with her phone the film strip. Yes, if you are in my age group or older, you will probably vaguely remember what a film strip is. But she's going to show you the machine she brought home, and she showed the film strip on the wall. It is a 5-part story about a little boy, and the people in his community don't take care of things. And there are some monsters that come, and they don't know what to do. And it's just a classic, really good story that kind of shows, every little thing that we do to take care of our planet, even if it doesn't seem that important at the time, is super important in the long run. So hopefully, as I post those this week, you will have a chance to let your child watch them. I think Miss Kitts has a little talk before and some questions after, kind of like we would do at school. She was sweet enough to just record it and share it with me and Miss Mays. So that way we would all kind of have the same thing to show you. So, because we were very sad thinking that you wouldn't be able to see Dash McTrash because we love, love, love the story every year and the kids love it. So we figured out another way to show it to you. So super exciting. All right. So that's like your rundown of ecology for the week. So, reduce, reuse, recycle, conservation, however you want to say it. And there's a little activity every day in each day of your packet. Okay, so again, you have a reading activity every day. You might have a book, you might have a paper story. Some of the paper stories now are going to be about plants. And so it's a shorter part for you to read, but it talks to you about close reading, having you work with your child, going back in and really thinking about what they read, highlighting some answers before they write it down. So we're really focusing on that remembering what you read and not just that instant recall, but thinking about it. So that's why the passages are not as long. So you'll be getting some of those in the next coming weeks as well. All right, so once you work on your reading, you have a bird in a birdhouse. Oh, I don't know that. Yeah, okay, that's right. Sorry, I had a moment where I was like, I didn't go 4 weeks. Yes, it's almost May. Oh my goodness, where does the time go? Okay, so you're going to read the picture, chips, and you're going to circle the digraph that it starts with. This is a good little review for most of our friends. Then when you turn the page, look at that funny picture of that boy with the magnifying glass. It says, what does he see? So it's asking you a question, and your job is to write the answer. Right? There's no wrong answer. He could be seeing anything, but what would you see to make a face like that? All right. On this side, you have some math. So it's kind of hard to see here. Let me move over here off the sun. But do you see how this is dashed? Okay. it's supposed to have the X. Do you remember how the other page didn't really copy right and it was hard to see? So the X's didn't really copy. So this one might be a little tricky. But I think once you explain it to your child, they'll get it. Believe it or not, they're very good at things like this. So this is subtraction. Tricky. You count all the squares and write the number. Then you write minus how many look almost glitchy. It seems to be a very catchy word these days. That looks like it should have an X, and you can draw those X's if you want. And then you write how many are left. Okay? All right. Then you have another set of similar things. Again, you want to find the ones that are glitchy to minus or subtract. The hardest thing in kindergarten about subtraction when you have pictures like this is reminding them to count the entire set first. To write the biggest number, because some of them don't do that. They automatically just go to counting one line or just the subtracted part, but reminding them you start with the whole group in a picture. And then you subtract the ones that are glitchy in this case or need an X before you get your answer. So that's really good practice there. And here you're working on short E, like in bed, and short U, like ugh, bug. And you need orange and green. So you're coloring by the code. So we have desk, so that would be orange. It has E, like bed, us. Okay, so we have tent, web, duck, drum, truck, and dress. So you want to really stretch out those sounds and hear that vowel. All right? So you've got that. You have editing. We're going to go back and continue to review some editing so we don't forget. This one says Dad is sad. So we're looking for, here's your checkbox at the bottom. Are we using capital letters the right way? Now I will tell you, this time this person used no capital letters. And if you reach way back in your brain, you will probably remember, oh, there should be a capital letter at the beginning of the sentence. Dad should start with a capital D. So we would put an X and write a capital D. We have good spaces in this one. We have punctuation. So it looks like there's only one mistake. Then we rewrite on the line, and then you draw a picture. Your dad is sad. I wonder if he needs a snack. Right? Okay, so you have one of those. For ecology today, you have some, dropping stuff everywhere. You have some fun facts about water that mom or dad or big brother or sister can talk to you about that I looked up, so that way you can kind of start thinking about our planet as a whole and some of the amazing things that you may not know about water specifically. This is all water facts. And then you're going to look at this model of our planet, and you're going to color the land green and the water blue. So of course, if it's big water, this is oceans over here, and it kind of corresponds to one of the water facts about how much land versus how much water is on our planet. And down here, you trace the earth is our home, right? So believe it or not, most people think, or I feel like most kids think that water, because when you turn on the thing, it just keeps coming and coming and coming and coming, and water is there forever. Believe it or not, all the water on our planet has been here since our planet was created. There is not a way right now that's safe to create new water. So typically at school we would talk about, hey, the water you're drinking, a dinosaur might have drank. And they're always like, what? How is that possible? So it's just a cool thing to talk to your kids about. How, we talked about water, the water cycle, like it keeps going. Back when we studied water a few weeks ago, it all ties in. So not wasting water is a really big part of something that we can do every day to help make our planet a better place, to make sure there will always be water for everyone else. Okay? All right. And then you have a math game called Plus What? So there's some good directions there. And it says if you want to go a little faster, you can add some different rules. So there's there's 2 pages. You will need dice for this one. So you roll your dice, and then let me make sure I remember. Sorry, there's a lot of games that I've been looking at lately. So you will need 2 crayons, 1 for each player. So this is a 2-player game. Hopefully, obviously, your child can play this by themselves with 1 color, but it's funner to have someone else to play with. So you pick a circle, for instance, like the 10, and it says, if I roll a 3, then 3 plus 7 is 10. So I would cover that one. So you're working on trying to add these sums to what you roll to make 10. So if I roll a 2, 2 plus what is going to give me 10? 8. So I would color the 8. And so you're trying to see who can color the most as you work around. So you finish the 10, and then you might go to the 9, and you work your way around the game board. Okay? So this is really good. If you have a child that's really speedy quick at adding things, this is a really good one to say how much, to go a little bit faster for that instant recall. Now, if your child is still using fingers or items to add, that's okay too. We're all in different spots, but it's great practice to help them get a little faster. Okay? All right. So that is every day and day number 1 for this most recent packet. So hopefully you find this helpful. I know not everyone watches these videos. They're not super exciting watching Miss Curry talk through work. But hopefully for those of you that might have questions along the way, we find it helpful. So tomorrow I will go ahead and record possibly day 2 and day 3. I will just leave this because looking at the clock, this video is now a little over 16 minutes long. So obviously if you ever have questions along the way, or you're not really sure what in the world it's talking about or trying to tell you to do, please always reach out and I will be happy to help you. Look out for the Dash McTrash videos. I will not post them all at one time because it's sort of like a secret. We don't want to give it away. So I will post one today, the first one, because at school we would watch one each day, kind of like a cliffhanger. What's going to happen next, right? So hopefully you'll get a chance at some point to give that a look. And remember, it's not cinema quality. It is a film strip. It was made in the 70s. So it's been around a while. So just enjoy it. And try to enjoy the beautiful day today. Look at that. It's super sunny. Very warm in the window. So, I guess I will see you guys later on today. Have a great one. Miss you all.